Hello, this is Rob Stewart, and this is a quick little video on the teacher evaluation form that I will be using for teachers that are on year 3 of our 3-year rotation. So this form is a little bit different than year 1 and 2. Not a whole lot, but just a little bit. Again, just like year 1 and 2 though, before we actually get into this form and go through the actual evaluation, um, there's the pre-observation planning form that I always like to go over. Again, this is the form that I would send to you electronically prior to coming into the observation that you and I have scheduled together. And the key components of this form are, excuse me, the objectives of the lesson, where you're at in the lesson, what prior learning has occurred, how will you assess the student learning that has occurred, and any other information that you think would help me better understand the lesson, your students, strategies that you're using, all of those good things. And again, so this is the pre-observation form. I'll send to you ahead of time. I ask that you get it back to me at least 24 hours before coming in for your scheduled observation. So you're on year 3. Year 3 is the year where we do your summative evaluation as far as the student learning goals are concerned. As far as the actual observation component, that is something that we do every year at WK. So you will be observed this teacher practice component, this 55%, that occurs every single year no matter what. So when I come into your classroom, I'm going to jump to page 2 here. Year 1 and 2, this is the form that I use. And again, I'm looking at the different domains from Charlotte Danielson: planning and preparation, classroom environment, and instruction. And then I come in and I check these different boxes, but more importantly, I'm adding all that feedback in here. And feedback about planning and preparation, feedback about your classroom environment, feedback about your instruction. And again, it's not just that 55-minute class period. It's a culmination of things. It's a culmination of meetings that you and I have been together, different conversations that we've had, 5-minute walkthroughs, etc. And there's also the domain 4, the professional responsibilities piece. Once again, I ask that you complete this checklist because this is stuff that you know best. So I ask that you complete the domain 4 checklist after the observation has occurred, and then we will be discussing this at the post-observation meeting. But there's this front page, which is a little bit different. What this front page does is it just goes maybe a little bit deeper, since this is year 3 of the 3-year cycle. It goes into a little bit deeper into some of those other areas that are definitely part of the Charlotte Danielson domain, but maybe takes just a little bit deeper look at it. There's teacher behavior planning skills. There's the actual lesson. There's monitoring, adjusting, and evaluating. Management and organization. Interpersonal behavior, and again, professional responsibilities. So along with the checklist and the feedback that I will be putting in here, I will also be typing in these boxes just a variety of different things that obviously go along with these different titles. So year 3 looks a little bit different. It's not truly that much different than year 1 and 2, except for this front page here, which again just takes a little bit more in-depth look at some of those areas and some of those different domains. So then, excuse me, we continue on. There's the individual growth and development plan. Again, that is a yearly individual growth and development plan that you create and send back to me. And then, just like year 1 and 2, there are these different additional components that we will be filling out. Again, there's the student engagement piece that counts for 10%. If you remember, 55% is the actual observation. 10% is the student engagement piece. We are, like I said before, in the previous video that I created for year 1 and 2, WK is still deciding yet if we're going to go with the student perception survey like we did last year with the pilot, or if the additional evidence is going to just become the 10%, and we're not going to use a survey. Again, additional evidence is those artifacts that you would provide me to show student engagement in your classroom. This could be a lesson. It doesn't have to be a lesson I observed. It could be a lesson. It could be a project. It could be a worksheet. It could be a video clip. It could be a variety of different ways that you demonstrate student engagement in your classroom beyond just the times that I'm in there for walkthroughs and the actual observation. Once again, there's the student learning and achievement 35% component. And that's the class goal and targeted needs goal that we've talked about before, and there's a couple of videos that I've also shared with you on how to create those and so forth. And so again, that's a 3-year process. So there's year 1 results, year 2 results, year 3 results, and then there's a culmination of all 3 of those years. And this is the year, because this is your 3rd year of the 3-year cycle, this is the year that we would be culminating or putting everything together. So that makes it a little bit bigger, I guess, as far as, or the difference between year 1, 2, and year 3 is it's a little bit bigger because we're putting all the pieces together now. And then we get into the same sheet as year 1 and 2, the final performance rating. Again, you can see that the observation or the teacher practice component constitutes 55%. Student engagement survey is 5%. Additional evidence or those artifacts is 5%, dependent upon if we use the survey. If we don't use the survey, this simply becomes 10%. And then we have the student learning goals, the class goal, and the targeted needs goal, 20% and 15%. Here again are those same vocabulary words that we're using throughout: unsatisfactory, development needed, effective, and exemplary. And we get these numeric ranges here when we start putting in all of these different scores as far as when we tabulate your goals, your additional evidence, and obviously the teacher practice. And we'll discuss that more as we go through the process. Like always, if you have any questions about any of this, don't hesitate to contact me. We can have a meeting. We can do it by email. But we'll have multiple encounters, what I call points of contact, throughout every year, but especially on your 3-year review here. And then there's just a final spot for a final performance rating, a spot to enter key strengths, priority areas of development, and then, of course, signatures from you and me. So that wraps up the observation form that I will be using for teachers on year 3 of the 3-year cycle. Really not much different than year 1 and 2, with the exception of this front page here, and also, of course, with the culmination of all 3 years, and especially the student learning goals, and taking the results from year 1, 2, and 3 and combining them all together for that summative rating on year 3. I hope this video has been helpful. And like I said before, don't hesitate if you have any questions to contact me, and I hope everybody has a great day. Thanks.